Hello everyone. So welcome to the first lecture on the lecture series of C++. So today is our first lecture. So today we will see some basic terms, some basic keywords that we will use in our programming, and we will also see how we can start writing the C++ program, how we can compile it, and how we can see the results. Okay, so coming to the topic, the C++ is a general purpose programming language, and it follows the concept of object oriented programming. As we move on to this course, there will be many concepts that will be clear to you. Okay, so don't worry if some things are not clear at this point of time. So C++ follows the concept of object oriented programming, and C++ basically was an extension of C language, which was a procedural language. Okay, so coming to the today's topic, so C++, you know, the source file, okay, the code that we write, we call it a source code. Okay, so when I use this term, this means I am talking about a file which is written by you. Okay, and you have written your instructions line by line, and you saved it with an extension of cpp. Okay, suppose you have given a name hello, and you saved it with extension cpp. Okay, you can give any name of your choice, but extension should be cpp. So this is the source code. Sometimes we also call it source file, and this file is converted to a machine code. Why this is converted to machine code? Because machines do not understand this language. Okay, this is basically a human readable language that we can understand, but machines do not understand, and the process of conversion is known as compilation. Basically, this compilation is not a single step. There are multiple steps involved. We will see these steps. So basically, if you see, this consists four steps. Okay, suppose you have written a program to print something on a screen, and you want this program to run on a machine. So there will be multiple steps involved in between. The first step will be pre-processing. Okay, what does this step do? This step basically takes your code and it processes that file. So in that process, it what it does, it takes the definition of uh, everything that you write in your code. It is not necessary that all the things you write is your own code. Sometimes we take the help of library, and we use the library functions. So in pre-processing, what does preprocessor do? Preprocessor is another program that you can just take think this preprocessor as a program for now. And what does this program do? This program basically takes the definition of all those functions that we are using and create a expanded version of our source code. So basically this is our source code, and after this step, an an expanded version of source code is created. Okay, we will see this in this lecture. So this creates an expanded version of source code. In the second step, we call it a we call this step as compilation of source code. Okay, in this step, basically this expanded source code is converted into machine specific code, because see, multiple machines have different type of settings, and according to that the compiler is designed, and the compiler converts the source code to a version that can be run on that machine. So in this step, the expanded source code is converted to a machine specific assembly code. Okay, and this machine specific assembly code is then converted to a object code file by a program called assembler. Okay, so assembler converts this file to a object code or object file, you can say. And finally, linker is another program that takes this object file and it links this object file with the definition of multiple functions that we have used, that library functions, and create a final executable program. Okay, so these are the steps that involved. Okay, don't worry if these steps are not you are not getting all these steps. You will get all these steps very soon, as you will start practicing the writing the program. For now, just remember that this is the process which is involved when we convert our source file to machine code. Okay, and this process is known as compilation. Okay, now let's talk about what are all those things that is required to write a program. Okay, so basically there are two things. One is text editor, and second is compiler. Okay, so these two things are required to write a C++ program. So text editor is to write and edit your code, right? And compiler is to compile the source code to machine code. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now just move on to the text editor that we are going to use in this course. We will use Visual Studio Code. Okay, and MinGW compiler. Okay, so these two things we will use. I have given a link also in the description, so you can install these two from that link. Okay, so I will jump to the Visual Studio Code and we will see how we can start writing and compiling the program. One more thing, see, basically in advanced programming, or if the program size increases, your application size increases, we generally use IDEs, integrated development environment. So basically IDE includes these two things at a single place. Means IDE provides the functionality of a text editor and a compiler. So these two things you find at a single place. IDE also provides other functionalities, like they help us to manage the code, and they also provide some ready-made functions. So we will see, but initially we will use these combination because you are learning. So it will be good if you write maximum code by your own, and later when we will move on the advanced topics, we can use start using the IDE. Okay, but anyways, if you want, you can use anything. Okay, the code that I will teach in this course, you can run on either on IDE or on any text editor, on any uh, compiler you can use. Okay, so just move on to the IDE, sorry, this Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is the Visual Studio Code. Okay, if I tell something about this Visual Studio Code, so in the left side you can see this is Explorer. Okay, and these are the some uh, icons given here. You can use these extension, like if I am programming in C++, so I can install the extension of C++, which is provided by Microsoft. Okay, so this is C++ Visual Studio Code. Okay, if you haven't installed and you will start directly writing this C++ code, then this Visual Studio code will notify you to install this extension. Okay, you can read some the details about this. So this is C++ extension, and that supports C++ to Visual Studio Code, including some debugging options, and it also provides features like code highlighting, so this helps to write you C++ code. Okay, uh, second thing is, okay, so this is Explorer, and the last option was extension. Okay, now let's see how we can create a file in this Visual Studio Code. Okay, so before moving to the writing the code, just let's see few more points. Okay, so I have closed this. If you want to open the terminal, you can go to terminal option and click on new terminal. Okay, this will open the terminal, and from terminal directly you can write a command and compile your code. Here I have opened a folder. Okay, you can see this online programmer. This is the folder where we will write the program. If you want, you can directly go to file and open a folder. Okay, and you can open your the folder of your choice where your source code is written. Okay, and once you open this is the file that was already present in my folder. If you want to create a new file, like we are going to create this hello world.cpp, let's just follow the convention. Okay, so when you click on this file is getting created. Okay, let's first write a code. Okay, so hash include okay, so this is the very basic program in C++. What this program is does, it simply prints hello world to the console, and let's see the meaning of first two lines. So basically the first line including this first line includes a library IO stream. When we move on to this course, we will see how you can write your own library, but for now just understand there are many functions that are available from the C++ language itself, and these languages provides the user functionalities to print something or to use like time library or math library. There are many functionalities that are already developed by some programmer, and you can directly use those library into your program, and you can focus on your application. Okay, so similarly, this IO stream library includes several functions that we can directly use in our program. Like if you see, this is a function cout that you are using in your program, but if you don't use these libraries, your program will not understand what to do with this cout. Okay, so we have used this library file so that we can use the basic functionalities that is provided by the C++. Again, the second line, so in the second line we are using a namespace. So this namespace std is a standard namespace in C++ where all these libraries are defined. Okay, so you can understand this is a place where the libraries are defined. So it is important to tell the compiler that we are using this namespace, because similar libraries can be present at multiple places. If you define your own library, so it is important to tell the compiler that you are going to use this particular namespace. Okay, now coming to this program. This program contains main function. So what is the function, you will get to know as you move on to this course. For now, just understand that every C++ program start with this main function. Okay, and the int which is written in front of main is the return type of this main function, which tells that this function will return a value of type integer. Okay, this fifth line is actually the only line that is doing something in this program, which is printing hello world to the console. Okay, now the sixth line is just returning 0 to the system. Okay, this return statement basically returns the value to the calling function. Okay, and sometimes in some compiler, if you don't write this line, this may give you an error. Okay, so this is the simple program that prints the hello world to the console. We will see how we can compile this program, okay, and how we can run this program. So for that, use this following command. Okay, write g++ and after that -o and give a name. Okay, like I'm giving a name hello, and after that pass the name of this file hello world.cpp. Press enter, and if everything is fine, then the program will compile successfully, and you can see hello.exe in the explorer section. This hello.exe is created when you compile this source file. Okay, and if you want to run this, just hello.exe and press enter. You will see the hello world is written here. If you change the content here, you need to recompile this source code. Okay, if you make the changes and don't compile it again, this will print the same result. Okay, so if you change the content, you need to recompile it. Okay, now you can see the content is changed. One more thing, if you don't give a name to the output file like -o and after that we have given a name hello, if you don't give that name, the system will automatically give a name a.exe and generate the object, generate the executable source file. Okay, try it once. Okay, you can see a.exe is generated here. Clear it? Okay, so as I told you that in the first step, the preprocessor generates a file, okay, which is the expanded source code. So we will see how we can see that file. Okay, so this is very important, pay attention here. If you want to see the expanded source code, write the command g++. Okay, so why we are writing g++? Basically this is the compiler which is compiling the program. So write g++ -e for the expanded version, and we will give a name to the output file. Like for now we can give hello world.txt, and again we will pass the file hello world.cpp. Okay, so when this code will run, you can see hello world.txt is generated. Okay, now see, this is the 7-line program here, and when we will see this, this is a very big file. Okay, if you want you can study the whole file, but I will tell you the main points in this program, in this file. Okay, so basically this file tells what is the functions definition that we are including and from where we are including. So see, this hash, this pound symbol basically tells the location. Okay, and after that these are the functions. Okay, like if you see, this is the path of the file C program files min.gw and C++ config.h. So this section is included from there. Okay, and similarly you can see there are many things that is included from the standard library. And why this is happening? Because you have included the IOStream file. Since you have included this file, the content of this file is getting copied from their location to the expanded source code. Basically this is the source code that goes into the compilation process. Okay, if you see, this is, since you have included this on the top and this is your source code, so if you go on the bottom you can see this is the source code. This is the source code that is included from the hello world.cpp. So basically this pound sign, and after that this tells the location of the file, and from this location this is included. Okay, so see, this is really big file. Okay, so that's why we see how we can start writing our own header files or own library files. When specifically if you are going to the field of embedded, it is required to know how to write your own library files, because general purpose library files include several things that you may not require in your application. So it is important to know how to write your own library files. That we will see later as we move on into this course. So for now just understand, since you have included this IOStream file, so there are many functions that are getting included. Okay, so these are the steps that was involved. Okay, you try to generate your own this expanded source code, and let me know if you are facing any issues. Okay, so for now I'm closing this lecture. Okay, just remember two things. After this lecture you just try to find out what are the different types of compiler that are available. Okay, and just try to study this expanded source code. If you are, otherwise you can also try to find out the locations. You can directly go to these locations, basically at these locations, like like this location. So here you can see that isstream.tcc. so basically what happens, one library includes the another library, and another library may include some other libraries. So because of that, this file is really become very large. Okay, so you can go to these locations and see what is the actual content of these files. Okay, so for now I'm closing this lecture, and we will see you in the next lecture. Okay, so I hope the process is clear to you, means how you can write a code, how you can compile a code. Okay, so just try to find out, write some code of your own and print some statement on the screen. Okay, so see you in the next lecture.